number 21, number 6 on page 21. We're going to go ahead and apply the quadratic formula, or just factor this out because we noticed that this was a quadratic function. So this will give us tangent of x positive 2 and tangent of x minus 4. If you need to use the house method, go ahead and go for it. We're going to go ahead and set them equal to each other, so we equal to 0. So tangent of x will get negative 2, and tangent of x will be positive 4. Now, since we don't know what these would be on our unit circle, we're going to go ahead and use our calculators for that. Okay, and make sure your calculators are in radian mode. And let's find it by doing second tangent, so inverse tangent of negative 2 will give us negative 1.107. And likewise, we'll do inverse tangent of 4, and that's going to give us 1.326. Now, I didn't really make a big deal about this, but we are about to, so we're going to take one thing at a time. So this value right here, we're going to take that to our decimals and see what happens. So that value means if I were to plug that value inside my angle position, so tangent of negative 1.107 will give us negative 2, is what we're saying. So if we were to plug in tangent of 1.107, which is right here, that's going to give us negative 2 as an answer. Okay, so let's check on that. So we know that this right here, based on our corner points, from here to here is 0.447, and from here to there is 0.8944, negative direction, correct? Alright, now, this is where all these numbers came from. So when we went to the radian of negative 1.107, which is the answer that we just found. So from here, we have to go to the negative direction of 1.107. That landed us at this point, which in turn gave us, and at that point, that was our x value and that was our y value. That's where these numbers came from. Now, if you were to work this out and do the tangent of these two, it'll give us negative 2 as an answer. Okay, you can check it for yourself if you would like. Now, let's take a look. In this unit circle somewhere, there's another triangle that looks similar to this, however, with a different signs. So I know this triangle, if I were to flip it over here, okay, it looks like it has the same distance of x and same distance of y. However, both of your x and y would be negative. So instead of giving us negative 2, this will give you positive 2. So this won't be this, so not this quadrant. And if I were to flip it up, it looks like it's a similar triangle. Once again, the same x distance. However, it's going to be in the negative direction. And same y value, but in a positive direction, which means this in turn will give us negative 2 as an answer for your tangent. Now, let's talk about some radians. I know I said this was negative 1.107 away, and it landed here because we're using some computer program. However, how would we do this if it wasn't some kind of computer program, right? So we know this starts at 0, and we know top of this quadrant, the top corner that I call it, would be pi over 2. And pi over 2, let's put that in the calculator, would be pi over 2, 1.571. So that's 1.571. Now, if you take a look at it, our answer was negative 1.107. If it was positive 1.107, it would have stopped about here somewhere, right? However, since it was negative, I went to the same distance away, and that's where I knew where to stop with my triangle here. Okay. Now, using some geometry, we know since from here to here is negative 1.107, there to there, or the distance itself is just positive 1.107, there to there is also going to be 1.107. However, when we are reading the circle or unit circle of anything on a regular mode, we're going to start from our 0 and count upwards. So the distance that I really want, or the radian degree that I really want, is from here all the way to this point here. Okay? And the way that we would get that would be by doing, this is our pi. So we do pi, entire pi, so from here to here's pi, minus this green distance, and that's going to give us the radian measure from 0 to that point there. So if we do pi minus that, alright, so pi, did I push that? Pi minus 1.107, that's going to give us 2.035. So right here is 2.035. Okay. Now, another thing that we have to worry about here is that I know when I first typed this answer in, we got negative 1.107 as an answer, but I'm going to go ahead and restrict our domain to from, let's include 0 to 2 pi. Okay. If I were to do so, that should be parentheses, if I were to do so, that negative answer does not suffice our domain. So we're going to have to go ahead and fix that. Now let's think. Just like how we thought about this entire circle is 2 pi. So if I were, the distance that I really want from starting there all the way around the circle to land right here, okay? And in order for us to get that, we're going to do similar strategies. We'll do 2 pi minus 1.107 because we're using all of it but that 1.107, and that's going to give us the measure of 5.176. Okay, so our two answers were those two. Okay, now let's go back to where we were. Okay, so instead of this, my x's were, I just forgot. My x's were 2.035 and 5.176. Now let's try this one without using my Desmos and kind of using our brains here. So here we go. Here's our circle. Okay, we know this is 0, and then we just decided that pi over 2 was 1.571. You know, that's 3.14 because that's just pi, and 2 pi is 6.283. Oops. And 2 over 3 pi. .094. It's 3 over 2 pi, isn't it? I apologize. 3 over 2 times pi. Alright, it's 4.712. Alright, so if it's 1.326, we automatically know it's going to be in between here and here, from 0 and there, right? So I will have a triangle here, which means there will be another triangle that's going to be on this side because my tangent, which y over x has to be positive, so this will give, this is positive over positive, it gives us positive answer. On my third quadrant, it's negative over negative, so it also gives us that answer as well. So we're saying that right there is 1.326, which suffices our domain, which was 0 and 2 pi. So I'm going to go ahead and put that answer there. However, we got to find this point here. Do you see how this is exact opposite on the other side where I started here, okay, and then I added a pi. This is half a circle. If you don't want to think about it this way, once again, we can think about in geometry. From here to here is 1.326. And we also know that from here to here is 1.326, just from here to there. However, we have to start at our 0. So if we start at our 0, and we're adding it all up, and stopping here, we have to do 3.14 plus 1.326. So we'll do pi plus 1.326, and that gives us 4.468. Okay. Now I know this problem was really weird because you're not working with just a pi, but remember, pi is a number. Pi does have a value attached to it, so it's really nothing that much different, but however, you got to think a little bit more.